Record for the timings. Them too.
So, could maybe someone Google the report by the government that talks about forced conversions?
Okay, 1 second.
Hopefully we'll be able to tell you the report so you can go away and read it yourself. However, assuming that we can give you the evidence that it does occur.
It has to be sizable.
Wait 1 second. Assuming that we can give you the evidence that it does occur, do you agree with me that we should tackle it?
Well, of course.
Right.
I see it as a criminal event. Like anything, like stealing, robbing, beating.
Right. So now,
but not to stand on the mountaintop and talk about it.
Why shouldn't I, as a Christian, talk about persecution of Christians?
And you know they're Christians.
Right. So
they're in jail.
The reason, there's a lot of Christians in prison actually, because a lot of people become Christian in prison. 14% of the British population, prison population, are Christian. They became Christian, most of them, in prison. It's actually a place in British society where there's actually a Christian revival. They're disproportionately represented. See, the difference between me and you, bro, is I know what I'm talking about. Now, the point is,
that's debatable.
There are Christians being persecuted in the world. Why shouldn't I talk about it?
Go for it.
Right. But here you are heckling me because I'm trying to raise awareness to you that in the Muslim world, Christians are being persecuted. Why is that wrong?
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. Now, if the...
But I'll tell you what I've got an issue with.
Yeah.
I think you're blowing things out of proportion massively. You're saying that the state needs to get involved, the church needs to get involved. You're talking about minor issues that are taking place halfway around the world. The only way I can see that happening in your way is sending battleships there. Is that what you want?
Okay, so let me answer your question. So the reality is you're not informed about the scale of the issue. Christians are the most persecuted group in the entire world.
By whom?
Let me finish. 35,000 Christians were killed in Nigeria last year. Is that a big enough problem for you?
That would be.
Right. One second. Yes, you can check me, fact check me, feel free. In Sudan, over a period of 18 years, 2 million Christians were killed. Is that big enough for you?
Right.
Is that big enough for you?
Listen,
wait. I want you to answer my question. Is that big enough for you me to say we should get involved?
That would be yeah.
Right.
You definitely need to address
right.
it.
Now let me address how we should do that. We should bomb the Fulani, and we should bomb the Janjaweed. We should send military assistance to persecuted Christians.
Why are then countries so destabilised that that's occurring? Yeah, where's the? Why is it not a functioning society? Maybe we need to look at the root cause. We may see the Westerners are involved in making it like that, a bit like Libya is with NATO.
Okay.
Would you be willing to address them, those Christians that have maybe destabilised those countries in the first place, so that you can let madmen going around persecuting Christians?
So let me address.
We've got to get to the root cause.
I agree. We need to get to the. Oh, he's running away. He's running away. Right, guys, we're going to get to the root of the issue. What is the root of Muslims persecuting Christians? The root of Muslims persecuting Christians is the teachings of Islam. It is the teachings of Muhammad. And Christians have been persecuted by Muslims for 1400 years. Let me just give you one fact to take away. And if you forget everything else, remember this one fact. For 1400 years, without missing a single year, there has been some Muslim army marching somewhere in the world against some Christian population to destroy that Christian population whilst shouting out Allahu Akbar. For 1400 years. The media would make you think that Islamic radicalism is a new problem. If you agree with the media, I want to tell you you're ignorant and you need a better education. Go and study church history. Go and study the martyrologies of the church in the Muslim world, and you will see plenty of evidence of Christians being persecuted. The liberals don't want to deal with this problem because our liberal elites are all cowards, and they know to try and tackle this problem will involve conflict, and they don't want to deal with it. So their solution is, let's just keep stamping on anything that raises awareness that there's a problem. Because if people become aware that there's a problem, you might start organizing yourselves. You might start training. You might start networking. You might start mobilizing. You might start resisting. And that's why they hide the scale of the problem. We Christians must break the silence of the liberal elites by raising awareness of the persecution of our brothers and sisters. And we must do it without shame, and we must accept that we will suffer and that we will be called names. We'll be called Islamophobes, we'll be called racists, they'll call us alt-right. I've never seen an alt-right movement that has every ethnicity of the world in it, but that is what the church is. And we as Christians have an obligation under our own religion to stand up for our own people, the church, the body of Christ. Paul said in his epistle, when one part of the body suffers, all suffer. That means the fight of the Nigerian Christians is your fight. The fight of the Lebanese Christians is your fight. The fight of the Cypriot Christians is your fight. The fight of the Malaysian Christians is your fight. The fight of the Filipino Christians is your fight. It isn't something that is happening over there to a stranger. It is something that is happening to our own family, to our own church, to our own body. And we must feel it like we feel a cut upon our own arm. And we must protect it like we would protect a cut on our own arm. So at this point, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take any question about any aspect of Christianity, its history, its culture, its religion, its doctrine, or what I've just talked about.